Hello and welcome to Shoals Marine Lab. I'm Matthew Lynn, and today we have with us Ian, one of our SEAL interns. Let's begin. To begin our biographical segment, Ian, can you please tell us from where you are?
I'm from Long Island, New York, specifically from Bowmore, which is about an hour from New York City.
What about right now? Can you tell us where you are in your career?
So I just graduated from Cornell with a degree in oceanography with minors in education, atmospheric science, and climate change. And I'm hoping to apply for graduate school in the next cycle and hopefully achieve a PhD in marine ecology.
Well, congratulations. I wish you the best. Finally, can you please tell us what inspired you to begin a career in science?
So I got interested in science when I was in about middle school, and my parents gave me a field guide to weather. And I was fascinated with this book. I would flip through it day after day, night. I would read it to go to sleep. I was just fascinated by the phenomena. And that was kind of when I knew that this was a field that I just had passion for, that this was something I knew I wanted to go into.
That's excellent. Moving on to our technical narrative, can you please explain to us why SEALs are important?
Seals are a major component in the trophic level food chain, and they're like that mid-level. They're like secondary carnivores, and witnessing how they're doing when we take population assessments of how they're doing, it lets us know about other trophic levels, how they're doing, and also we can alert fisheries or these local companies that rely on the same prey that these seals eat, and we can work with them, and then they also can create their livelihoods and make their lives better as a result of knowing how they're doing, which means they know how the fish is doing.
Well, that is good to know. In a single sentence, could you please tell us what the question is you're trying to answer?
So me and Katie, we are the 7th year of this internship, and what we've been looking at is the population trends of harbor and gray seals through time, specifically on Duck Island ledges. And we're also, while looking at the population, we're also looking out for wounds, entanglements, injuries, any unique phenomena that these seals are experiencing, so then we can report them to the Marine Mammals of Maine or any local organization, and we can try to help these seals out. But the main thing that we're looking at is their population trend, and we're seeing if there's an increase or decrease in the population.
And how does one measure these increases and decreases? What are your materials and methods?
So what Katie and I do is 2 to 3 times a week approximately, we will go on a boat supplied by Shoals Marine Lab, and we go, and the captains take us to Duck Island ledges, and we sail around the ledges, through the ledges around them, and taking photos of all the seals that we see on these ledges. Due to our permit allows us to get within 150 feet, so that's where we usually stay around because we don't want to disturb these seals any more than we already are because of vessel noise. But what we do is we go around those ledges, we're taking multiple pans of shots. We take between like 700 to 800 photos almost approximately each time. And we come back down to this lab right here, and we then use the photos and count the seals.
What have you found so far with respect to this group project?
As of right now, we still have plenty more surveys to go, but the gray seal average has gone up even from our year, which is really nice to see. This population is increasing. Harbor seals, on the other hand, there's been a slight decline. This isn't concerning, but it's definitely a sign potentially that maybe gray seals are maybe taking over the ledges. Maybe that means that there's something with the prey that is going on that's causing them not to haul out as much here. But in the grand scheme of things, gray seals are going up, which is really nice to see. In harbor seals, there was a slight decline, but it's not concerning.
Well, I'm glad we don't have to be concerned. I also hear you're working on an individual project. Can you please tell me a little bit about that?
What I'm looking at is if the time of day of low tide, when that varies throughout the day, if that that experiences a change in the counts that we witness. And to explain it again, just if the low tide is at 12 versus the low tide is at 9, is there a difference in haul out count? And that's what I'm looking at. And we have 7 years of data so that I can compare it to, and I'm plugging all of this data, and I'm trying to see if there's a trend. And what I've witnessed so far is that the gray seals tend to haul out in the greatest numbers at around 8, 9 a.m. and harbor seals, at least from our data, seem to be relatively stagnant across all times of day, with a slight increase in the early afternoon around 10, 11. But it's pretty solid. But that's what I've seen so far. Again, there's possible sources of error in there, but From what we've witnessed for over 7 years, this is what I've seen, and it's been very, very interesting so far.
Well, thank you, Ian. That's about all the time we have for today. We got to hear about your wonderful biographical story, your SEAL internship, as well as your personal project. I'm Matthew Lynn of Shoals Marine Lab, and we'll see you next time.